at the AT&T Center, where we're not even sure what we just witnessed. It was a game that looked like Memphis was out of it. It was like, okay, how are they going to scramble to get back in this series? They wind up losing to the Spurs 93-89. And Irvin, even though it is now 0-2 for Memphis, did you see enough in this game, coming back from 18 down, to suggest to you they have played their way back in this series?
Michael, finally they got patient and they start being productive on their pick and roll play. Let's look at the stat sheet. You know, when you think about it, Memphis had 14 more shots than San Antonio. They out-rebounded San Antonio 60-46, Jalen. I'm building on that fourth quarter. If I'm Coach Hollins, I'm saying, look, I'm going to look at the tape and say, guys, play like this in the fourth quarter.
The strength of Memphis basketball team are their two bigs, Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph. But you want to get post-up offense, you need spacing on the perimeter. They took out Tayshaun Prince. They took out Tony Allen. More minutes for Pondexter. More minutes for Bayless. Dribble handoffs, one-on-one moves. All of a sudden, you're knocking down shots. You're getting confident, and you're finding ways to get back in the game.
And they took those guys out because San Antonio was laying off them, and they just couldn't get anything going. That was 2 games. The first 3 quarters, Parker was beautiful, controlled the whole thing, 16 assists in 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, everything switched. As Magic said, the pace changed. And Memphis is like a boxer. Like, these rounds go on, and they kind of figure out exactly how far to get away from somebody and come in and when to get their punches in. By the end of this game, I felt like these 2 teams were equal. Tim Duncan in the overtime, though, made a couple big plays. Old school Timmy in the overtime.
Let's go and look at a couple of plays, speaking of specific plays. One involving Tony Allen, Manu Ginobili, and a flagrant foul late the game.
Our first Oscar contender.
Well, Tony, he went Denzel Washington here. He wants you to think he landed on his head and the head never touched the court.
Michael, that was a bad foul by Ginobili. You're up 4 points. Let him have that 2, because now you still up 2. So that was a bad foul to me, and also 2 is below 1 minute to go in the game.
A lot less. You're going to have the ball. You're going to make them foul you and at least put you on the line to win the game.
Shades of Game 7, 2006 Dallas. Manu fouls Dirk up 3. Changes the whole series. I was thinking, are we repeating this? But then San Antonio won anyway.
Whether it was a flagrant foul or not, Tony Allen, Pulitzer Prize winner. Yeah. No doubt about it.
Pulitzer Prize. You can't win the Pulitzer for that.
Well, something.
It's an
Oscar, Emmy,
or Tony.
Grammy, Tony.
You can't win
whatever.
a Grammy either.
So they move on to Memphis now, and if you're Lionel Hollins and the Grizzlies, what reason do you have to feel better about yourself?
Well, I think he's encouraged just by the fact that his team just scrapped tonight. You know, and they rebounded, they out-rebounded their team. They got 20 offensive rebounds, things that they do. They didn't turn them over that much, but they were able to play Memphis Grizzly basketball, and I think he's encouraged by that.
Zach Randolph, feel better about it?
Play better, a little bit more momentum, but I think sometimes in losses, even though you lost, you like the way your team looked. They looked like the Memphis Grizzlies. The game 1, I know Lionel was scratching his head saying, who are these players? But they came out, they played their word. They don't ever shoot the basketball well, but they grinded the game out.
Yeah, they did. But having said that, you can't assume, if you're Memphis, that now all is going to be well because we're going home. They're going to have to continue to fight the way they did in that fourth quarter if they want to have a chance to get back in the series.
And the Spurs are sure to remember that they were in this exact position this time last year, only to see the Thunder beat them 4 straight and move on to the NBA Finals.
It's a 10-point lead and felt like it was 10 for the bulk of this game in the fourth quarter, if not worse. But then a dunk from Quincy Pondexter. He's normally a 3-point shooter, and that's what he does, gets his feet square. And Memphis, you let them hang around. They're creeping. They're on the creep. It's a 4-point game. Here, Manu sloppy with the ball. Tony Allen out in transition. Tony goes down, and give the man credit. If nothing else, he sold it. And this is red card worthy. He goes down, he's holding his head like he got hit upside the head with a snow shovel. His head never hit the ground. He never hit the ground. They called him flagrant. He makes 2 free throws. And now, Mike Conley. He's a lefty, but he's comfortable using that right hand, and he ties this game up. They had been down as many as 18. They had a foul to give, did Memphis. They took it, and Pop is good at drawing up plays, but it appeared Memphis took away what San Antonio hoped to get. We head into overtime. Not a whole lot of scoring going on in overtime. Parker squares up. No. Duncan, who sat most of the fourth quarter with 5 fouls. Maybe he had some fresh legs. Duncan, ball fake. Oh, it's an ugly shot, but man, it's pretty. Anything that went in the basket was pretty here. Less than 30 to go. Bayless, pull-up jumper. Now they're down 2. Tony Parker, normally good. He's missed a couple of free throws in this game. So now the best that you can be if you're San Antonio is up 3, and that's what they are. Bayless, a 3. Coach Hollins looked like what are we doing? This is not the shot that he appeared to hope to get for his squad. Maybe take the open drive, foul. You never know. San Antonio was missing free throws down the stretch. But as it goes, this Memphis team that was down by, it seemed, an interminable amount. I mean, they're down 18. You're not coming back from this. They tie it up. But now they're down in an 0-2 hole. They've been real good at home, but they had a chance to steal this one. They weren't able to do it.